Hi, thank you for your question. I have a cold, so don't mind that I'm stuffy right now. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for asking this in such a kind manner. I really appreciate it. Because a lot of times, just because I'm trans, people presume that my son must not know his biological father or have any connection with him. So I definitely appreciate that you worded it like this in like a nice way. My husband is not my son's biological father. My son's biological father passed away when he was 7 years old. He lost his battle with addiction. I think that's the only way I'm allowed to say it on here. It's something I'm very open and honest about with my son. A lot of people might not agree with that, but to me, having like an open and honest line of communication when it comes to like, addiction and mental health, like even from a young age, I believe those things are very important to discuss. I can only speak about my relationship with my son's father really because it's not my place to talk about the relationship my son had with him. He was very close with him, I will say that. He knew his dad, he was close with his dad, he saw his dad frequently. I can only speak from my perspective and, my experiences with my son's father, that, him not being with us, although it's sad and I feel for my son, I do feel that all of us are a lot safer. My son's father pled guilty to simple assault against me. He was also going to be charged with attempted, against me. It was all caught on surveillance, and I said nothing happened, so they couldn't press charges. By the time my son's father passed away, he had, I believe it was 7 victims, and that's just legal victims. As in, those were just the cases that went to court and he was convicted of. I can't speak on the relationship that my son had with his father. Even if I knew more, I probably wouldn't because I feel like that's his story. But just based on my experience, my story, and the story of other adults that I know were his victims, I am happy that there will be no more victims. I think everybody's a lot safer. My husband literally has been so supportive throughout everything. Like, before he even moved here, like, moved in with me, he had a job set up. He paid thousands for a lawyer. There's so many instances that, like, us as a family, like, my husband, my son, and I were put into, from my son's father that were really dangerous, where my husband could have just thrown in the towel and been like, yeah, this is too much for me, I'm out. But he always stuck by us, and we're just very lucky to have him. And even through the grieving process, because when somebody passes away, the cycle of abuse does not end. So I did grieve my son's father a lot. And my husband was supportive through all that, which it takes a very mature person to be supportive through that. Now the rose-colored glasses are off and I see reality. We're safer.